Hi, I'm Emma Stokes and this is week 17 and 18, I can't believe it, of my Dart 10K training diary. So what have I been doing for the last 2 weeks? I've been getting in the lake a lot. I've upping my distance and really all's going well. So I went over to the lake midweek 2 weeks ago with Zoe. It was pouring with rain and the temperature of the water had dropped massively because it was just so cold. I don't know if you can remember. And yet it was fab. Once we got in, Zoe's teeth were chattering, bless her, when we were climatizing. But I didn't find it too bad, which is really surprising because normally I'm a complete wimp with the cold. But maybe I'm starting to get used to being in the cold water. Who knows? Who would have thought? So yeah, we did a fairly short swim. It was beautiful though. I love the feeling of the rain on my swimming hat. I love it. Zoe, poor love, is coughing and coughing and coughing still. She's been poorly now for over 3 weeks, so I haven't caught up with her this week. So I'm hoping she's feeling better because it's just not doing her swimming training any favours, really. She probably shouldn't have gone to the lake with me, but she's just really mindful that time's ticking away. So I think I did almost a kilometre in Lake 32 at South Cerney. And when we got out though, oh my God, my fingers were actually numb and I hadn't really felt uncomfortable in the water, but it was only when I got out I realised, and I couldn't press the button on my car remote to open it, which provided lots of hilarity. But anyway, I soon warmed up. Then later that week, I was aiming to do a 6K swim in the Lido, and it was a miserable day. So I was hoping that it was going to be really empty, and it was. And I was going great guns. Got to about 5.5K though, and I started to feel a twinge of cramp in one of my calves. Thought, no, it'll be fine. But I'd forgotten to take a drink. So I'd literally been swimming for 5.5 kilometres, not stopped once and not had a drink. So I think dehydration kicked in and I got to 5.7K and I pushed off the side at the deep end and my calf just went into complete cramp, which resulted in me squealing, hanging onto the ropes for dear life because I was in the deep end. The lifeguard was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, yeah, just cramp. But oh my God, it was really bad. So lesson learnt, I need to make sure I've had enough to eat and take a drink with me to have halfway through long swims now because the distance is getting longer. So I cut it short. So I didn't make the 6K, I was gutted. I got to 5.8, but still awesome. So that's really good. And then that Sunday, we went over to the lake again. It was Father's Day, so Rich decided he would come. And Zoe, we picked up as well. And I managed to do 2K, which I promised myself I would do. I don't know if you remember last week. I decided not to do the Dartmoor 2K lake swim. And I'm glad I didn't because the weather was really, really bad down there apparently. And they cut all the distances by half. So I've gone all that way and I would have only been allowed to swim a kilometre. So I did 2K in the lake and absolutely loved it. Could have done more actually. I think it came up as over 2K because I started my watch right from the pontoon. And if anyone knows Lake 86, the buoys are a little bit further into the lake. So anyway, so that was all good. Didn't feel cold at all and thoroughly enjoyed it. I swam through some little shoals of tiny little fish and the sun was shining, and I don't know if anyone is used to it, when it shines through the water it just lights up and you can see all the weeds and it was beautiful. I really loved it. So definitely no fear there anymore. And then this week all I've done is I did a mile in the Lido and then I went over to the lake again today and I did my furthest distance in a wetsuit and in open water. So my furthest distance in those is just over 4K. So I'm really pleased with that because I've totally busted my fear. It's very different swimming in a wetsuit and I was finding it exhausting. I was exhausted, let me tell you, after 4K. But really feeling like this is good. 4K on the Dart 10K gets me to the first feeding station. It's good, eh? So if I can get to there, that's a result. and then I can scoff some jelly babies, drink some water and crack on. So I'm feeling really positive about everything. My sighting is becoming so much better, which is a good thing because I drift off to the right. I don't know if it's because I've ditched bilateral breathing a long time ago because I was just finding it impossible. So I'm still just breathing to my right. So I'm wondering if by breathing to my right and turning my body more that way, I guess, if that's making me drift off to the right. I'd be interested to know if anybody else finds that the side they breathe to is the side they drift to. So when I'm swimming now, I'm trying to almost visualize always pulling to the left. And that seems to be keeping me on a straight line. And sighting, which I found really difficult to start off with, just is quite easy. And I'm finding I'm counting my strokes so that I don't get carried away. Because if I get carried away, I find that I'm in, especially in Lake 86, I'm in the boating part of it and I don't want to crash into a paddleboard particularly. So I'm having to sight probably every 5 or 6 strokes. I did get it to 10, but I do tend to drift off, so I've pulled it back. And that's all I've got to report. Oh, no, it's not. In other news, Mandy, who is obviously the third person of me and Zoe's swimming team for the Dart 10K, did her half Ironman. She's a machine, that woman, honestly. So she hasn't really done very much in terms of training since that. That was 2 weeks ago Sunday, because she was just exhausted. But yeah, she'll be absolutely fine for the dart. But I'm looking forward to all 3 of us getting in the water together again soon, just because we've been quite disjointed. We've just all been really busy. And this weekend, I've got in my diary that it's 13 weeks until the Dart 10K. So I'm now officially starting the Dart 10K training program, but I'm a little bit ahead of it already. But I'm like to be that way, just because if I get ill or if there's a week when I just really struggle to get in because of time and work and stuff like that. So yeah, anyone else who's training for it, get that Dart 10K training program out, and then together we will smash it. That's it from me this week.